Hey guys, it's Ace here, and today we're going to be talking about the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. And this is mainly because today the deal ended up going through. Now initially the deal was supposed to go through a couple months ago when Microsoft had their court hearing against the FTC, but the Competition and Markets Authority, aka the CMA, which is the UK equivalent of the FTC, ended up blocking the deal because they had concerns over cloud gaming. Yes, not Call of Duty, they didn't care about that. Cloud gaming. Something that's about as niche as virtual reality. Anyways, despite all the silly little deals that Microsoft ended up going around and making to different companies, the CMA ended up approving of this deal because Microsoft ended up making a deal with Ubisoft to give them all the cloud streaming rights for Activision Blizzard games for the next 15 years. But anyways, we ended up finding out about this morning because the official Activision Blizzard Twitter account tweeted out, quote, "It's a big day for us. Today, we join Team Xbox. All of our history and success leading to this moment is because of you, our incredible gaming community. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts." And then they linked to a article on their website basically saying the same thing. Now, the whole interesting part about this is Bobby Kotick, which, if you don't know, is the CEO of Activision Blizzard, ended up sending a very large email to every Activision Blizzard employee basically saying, hey, the deal has gone through. But the very interesting part about this is he states that Phil Spencer, which is the head of gaming at Xbox, told him that he needs to stay as the CEO of Activision Blizzard till the end of 2023, which basically means that Bobby here is going to be hitting the road as soon as 2024 rolls around, which is fantastic for the average person because if you're not aware, Bobby Kotick is he's a little smidget problematic at Activision Blizzard, kind of is somewhat responsible for some of the sussy things that have happened, and is most likely responsible for some of the absurd greediness that we've seen in the past couple of years within Activision Blizzard games. So hopefully when he's replaced, someone better takes the mantle. Please, for the love of God, as a person who loves Activision Blizzard games, please, someone who is not a scumbag, please. But with that shakeup in the leadership coming soon, what does this mean for Activision Blizzard going forward? Well, the official Xbox Game Pass Twitter account stated, "Today, we can now begin the work of bringing Activision Blizzard King's iconic and groundbreaking games to Xbox Game Pass. We can't wait to share more details in the coming months." So, how soon are they going to be bringing Activision Blizzard games? Well, we don't exactly know. It's definitely not going to be in 2023. As put in this tweet from a couple days ago from Activision Blizzard's official Twitter, they basically kind of state that they don't have plans to put Modern Warfare 3 or Diablo 4 in the Game Pass this year. However, once 2024 rolls around, then the door will be open for them to put those games, as well as previous Activision Blizzard titles, onto Game Pass. Okay, well, now that we know the short term of the future of Activision Blizzard, what does the long term look like here? Well, at least on the Activision side of things, there has been many talks between Bobby Kotick and Phil Spencer about reviving Guitar Hero, as that is an Activision IP that has been sitting out since 2015. Now, while there's other IPs from Activision, like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, which Spyro has been sitting out for a while as well, seems like mostly the talks are around Guitar Hero, so I guess I'd expect a Guitar Hero game within the next 4 or 5 years. But anyways, as always, Call of Duty will continue to be a constant with Activision, as it is the most sold game every single month for some reason, which, speaking of Call of Duty, changes to Call of Duty, I would hope the cash shop gets less greedy, but I highly doubt that. If anything, the future of Call of Duty can't really be predicted right now, as they are trying a new experiment with Modern Warfare 3, which is basically a $70 DLC. So depending on the outcome of this little experiment here, I would have to guess that Modern Warfare 3 ends up being a success, and going forward for Call of Duty, maybe they'll have a 2-year cycle for each game. That being, they launch a brand new title, completely separate from the previous set, and then the following year, they release a DLC for it that's basically like a full release, and then they rinse and repeat, while continuing to have Warzone be a constant. But that's enough of Activision talk. Let's go ahead and talk about the Blizzard side of things. Now, obviously, Blizzard will continue to update their live service slop, that is Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4, as well as World of Warcraft stuff. However, outside of that, all we pretty much know is that they are supposedly working on a survival game, so we'll probably see that in the next couple of years. In terms of reviving IPs, potentially we could probably see a StarCraft revival, but it may be a long while before we see that. Overall, in terms of exclusivity to Xbox systems, for the Activision side of things, I think anything that's not Call of Duty that releases will end up being exclusive, and potentially whatever this next Blizzard game that they're working on could be exclusive as well. But in terms of Call of Duty, well, that's going to stay on all platforms because that thing makes way too much money for them to make exclusive. Oh, one more thing before we close out this video here for the future of Activision Blizzard. When Microsoft was making a bunch of deals, one of the biggest deals they ended up making to Nintendo was to bring Call of Duty back to Nintendo systems. Whether that ends up being the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch 2, which is rumored to release at the end of 2024, I guess we'll end up finding out eventually. Either way is going to be a miracle for Activision to get Call of Duty running on a Nintendo Switch. And that is also going to be interesting. Would they be allowed to play with the general population, or would they be forced to play amongst fellow Nintendo Switch players? If Call of Duty ends up introducing mobile into the mix, would it be just between mobile and Nintendo Switch like some other games? Or again, would they be allowed to mingle with all? These are questions that probably won't be answered for another year or so. Anyways, this was Ace. If you enjoyed, go and give a like. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.